Visualize what life would be like. Lo diría, libertad. Es lo que siempre hemos buscado. Por eso mi gente se viene a este lado. Amén.
Everyone needs to be free.
Eso lo quiero sentir dentro de mí, pero a veces ni se puede sonreír. Pero madre me dijo, mijo, no te agüites, busca la libertad, la tienes adentro del alma. Busca la calma, deja que crezca más grande que palmas. No sigas fama, eso no es vida. Pídele a Dios y nada será falta. That's what to my mama, I'm on. Freedom to feel what I'm not alone. I know you feel me, you can be strong. Put that in gun, put that in drugs. Help out your neighbor, ain't gon' raise your son. Go be a leader, student and teacher. See the things that you talk about as preachers. Do that right now in the name of your freedom.
Freedom. This is a song about freedom. Freedom for our sons and daughters. Freedom for earth, sky and water. Freedom for earth, sky and water. Freedom to dwell beyond borders.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Sacramento Center for Spiritual Living, to our Sunday service, the last one in February. As we know, our service is recorded because many people watch it on social media. So if you wish to turn off your video or change your name, just use your first name, you are welcome to do that. We are so glad you're here. So glad. And we want to remind you that today, after our service, instead of fellowship, we are going to have our annual meeting for the Sacramento Center for Spiritual Living at 12:30. This is where we can find out what the heck has been going on behind the scenes, what our board members have been up to, because, you know, those board members, they might be up to new policies or new websites or new endeavors in the community, and it is all pretty exciting. We get an opportunity to see the recap of where we've been over this past year, which has been a very different year, we all know, and where we are going. And so please come at 12:30, and remember that is instead of fellowship today. And now, without further ado, let me introduce our beloved senior minister, Reverend Sharon Dunn, who brings her wisdom, lets spirit speak through her and to her, and we are so grateful. Welcome, Reverend Sharon.
Thank you, Debbie. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. How are you? Okay, so you're going to hands up if you're good. Wow, looks like everybody's doing pretty well. What an exciting day this is, actually. So I think we should unmute all at once and say good morning to each other. What do you think? Unmute and say good morning to each other.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Ah, good
Love
morning.
you.
Good
Good
morning.
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 Welcome, everybody.
Love seeing
Hi,
you
Diane
all.
from
Yeah.
Kansas. And
I see Carol, I see Jaime, I see Patrick.
Karina from Puerto
Jennifer.
Vallarta. Oh my goodness. And here comes Delane.
Diane.
It's so great to see everybody.
Yes.
And I think in a minute, we're going to see our beloved Delane. Oh my goodness. Yay.
Yeah.
There she is. I can see her hand. Yay.
Hi, Elaine. We love you.
We love you so much. Whew. Okay. Let's settle in. And we can settle into this beautiful sound.
In this moment, feel the spaciousness, the absolute presence of that bell ringing through each and every one of us, the freedom of the song that we just heard. There is one power, one presence, one allness, and one grace, one infinite life that sings through the whole universe and through each and every heart. And today it sings through my mind, my heart, my being, and it sings through each and every person who is part of the Sacramento Center for Spiritual Living in any way, each and every person here. And today it sings through the voice, through the message of Reverend Sharon Dunn, as she clearly and wonderfully brings us Spirit's message. Exactly what I need to hear, I hear. Exactly what I am ready for, I am ready for, and it happens now. And I know this for myself, as I know it for each one of us, that each and every one of us is open, willing, grateful, and transformed. Transformed in small ways, maybe big ways. That all of this is happening now. That all of the music, all of the things behind the scenes, the annual meeting after the service, and each and every contribution is absolutely perfectly aligned for our good as we share this time together. And so it is.
The one whose thought is the most godlike, that is the truest, the highest, the most noble, the most complete, the most peaceful, will be the best self-healer. We are all bound, tied hand and foot by our very freedom. Our free will binds us. But as free will enables us to create the conditions which externally limit us, so it can uncreate or dissolve them. It is not enough to say that we attract what we think. We become what we think, and what we become, we attract. Through an inherent law of mind, we increase whatever we praise. Praise yourself from weakness to strength, from ignorance to intelligence, from poverty into abundance. Such is the power of right thinking that it cancels and erases everything unlike itself. Free will does not mean that wrong thinking is justifiable. Infinite mind created us a free soul in order that we might experiment with varying combinations of right ideas. Here is all the freedom one could ask for, and all the freedom that the divine mind itself could possibly have given us. The freedom to act as an individual, the freedom to give full rein to our creative imagination, the freedom to do this, at least temporarily, in such a way as to produce discord instead of harmony, and more important, the freedom to produce harmony instead of discord. And now please stay tuned for our meditation by Roger Teal.
I realize in this moment that there is only one life, one energy, one intelligence, one being. That life, intelligence, and being is whole, perfect, complete, in its infinite essence now. There is only one ocean of divine being, expressing out of itself all the myriad forms of life, every form containing the master plan, the spiritual prototype of divine life's perfect pattern. One life, one love, joyously unfolding itself, retaining its integrity, its perfection, its action. One beautiful life, infinite in scope. We touch the hem of the garment of the realization of this life, and our hearts overflow. I know in this moment that I and this beautiful life are one life. My life is an extension, a unique opportunity and adventure of the divine. My life resonates with the qualities of divinity and harmony. For who I truly am is the integrity and the light of truth and being of God. I rejoice to realize that I express the life of God in my own unique way. I release anything that is, in my awareness, less than that which is the divine, I release fear, anxiousness, the concerns of human calculation. I release heaviness. I release human verdicts. I release any sense of obstruction or scarcity. And my consciousness commingles with the Divine and Holy One, and I am infused in this moment with the expansiveness of spirit, the wholeness, the light, the truth, the enrichment, the renewal of spirit. In these quiet moments, I bask in and absorb the truth to the core of my being. And as the sun dissolves the fog, just so my acceptance of life and truth in this moment dissolves all pain and any disruption of the highest and best activity in this my precious body temple. I realize that every activity, every cell, every organ, every function of my physical body is animated by the living Spirit. And I now permit my body to receive the flow of this perfect Spirit and to harmonize with it. Oh, I realize that the perfect mind of God is the mind in which I know and think. And I affirm and know that divine mind now directs my thoughts, sustains my being, and heals my body, revealing the ever-present perfection. I affirm and know that healing intelligence and light flow everywhere within me, renewing every cell and activity of my body after the divine pattern of perfection held in the mind of God in this instant. I know that my whole being manifests the life, love, harmony, strength, peace, and joy of the Spirit which indwells me, which is my entire being. And I love my body, for it is the intelligence and substance of God expressing, clothing me in perfect action and embrace. My body is a glorious vehicle for the furtherance of my spiritual unfoldment, and I bless, I honor its magnificence. My body is total vitality, total energy, unlimited, infused with life and pure being. And so I give thanks, deepest thanks for the silent power which sustains and enlivens me. There is no other power, no other presence, no other life. Therefore, all the power there is, all the presence there is, all the life there is blessing, harmonizing, restoring, and vitalizing me right now. Thank you, dear perfect Spirit, for the health and vitality and the great service of my body. I am grateful. This consciousness is now released into the perfect corresponding action of divine law, moving forth and already imprinting every cell and function, activity, and aspect of my body and the body of my greater experience for good. In harmony and peace, I release this now, letting it be so, for in truth, it is so and done right now. And so it is.
And so it is. Can we say that together? And so it is. I love my body. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, goodness sakes. Well, I see Patricia's here, and oh, it's good to see everyone. This is our last week of February. Can you believe spring is right around the corner? Which means that we've been sheltering in place for almost a year. This is huge. A year. Can you believe it? That also means that at the end of this year, we're going to have a homecoming, aren't we? We are going to come home to just what that meditation talked about, unlimited potential. So anyway, today's talk is Journey to Freedom. And I'm going to do something a little different this week because I am going to do this almost as a lesson. Because what I did was I gathered as much information from Ernest Holmes, our founder and teacher and author of our textbook, The Science of Mind. And I looked and looked and looked to see everything Ernest Holmes says about freedom. I wanted a new perspective for myself. I didn't want to use what's going on or what has happened or what's going to happen. I wanted to go back to basics. Are you willing to go there with me? Back to basics. So Ernest Holmes says the journey to freedom is about embodying and living the truth of love, unity, and freedom. Now, I thought about that for quite some time. The journey to freedom is about embodying and living. So we are bestowed with freedom. We're born free, but we have to do something. That's the realization I came to this week. We have to do something with freedom. What do we have to do? We have to live it. What is it to live a spiritual principle? Embody and living the truth of love, unity, and freedom. Ernest Holmes doesn't say the journey to freedom is yours, period. Have a good time. Ernest Holmes says that it is about embodying and living. Embody, what does that mean? To me, it's the same thing I say over and over again with spiritual principle, that if we're not feeling it, if we're not experiencing it, it doesn't happen. It's just a word. It's just an idea. But in order to literally, have that spiritual principle occur in our lives, manifest in our lives, we must embody and live it. Well, this is very interesting. So that led me to the rest of my discovery, that my research, if you will, because I think, well, embody and live freedom. So let's talk about that. Now, in What We Believe, which again, Ernest Holmes wrote, we call it our Declaration of Principles. He says, we believe the ultimate goal of life to be a complete emancipation from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. That doesn't mean you, not me. That doesn't mean me, not you. And what's very interesting, if we go back to the first statement, Ernest Holmes says, living the truth of love, unity, and freedom. So unity is a big word here. and love is a big word here. I want you to hold those two words. Hold those two words, because freedom's tricky, folks. Freedom isn't just happening. Freedom is something that we have to live. So I'm going to talk about freedom in 3 ways. I'm going to talk about freedom as no fear. There's no fear in freedom. The truth shall set you free. And the third is master of our soul. So no fear in freedom. The truth shall set you free, and master of our own soul. So I went to the glossary, not to the dictionary. I went to Ernest Holmes' glossary, and I looked up the word freedom. And Ernest Holmes in the dictionary, 1942, says the necessary freedom, right, is the necessary prerogative of self-choice, acting as a law of cause and effect, carrying with it the liabilities of its selectivity. Now wait, let's unpack this. Breathe, everybody. I don't need you to recite that right now. Like, what did she say? Huh? Freedom, the necessary prerogative. Of course, I had to look up the word prerogative, which is a right or privilege. This is a right. This is that we're born with this. We, did you hear me say we? That means everybody. So we're born with this. And then it's the necessary right or privilege of self-choice. Self-choice. So remember, I'm going to talk about no fear and freedom. So I know you're going to get that I'm going to go there. Yes, I'm going to go there, that if you can't hold those two at the same time. Fear, freedom cannot occupy the same space. So you know where I'm going today, right? No fear. Is that Nike? No, that's I forget who had that slogan, but that's a good one. I'd like that one tattooed on my everywhere. So this self-choice, keep that in mind, right? Now the self-choice acting as a law of what? Cause and effect. So we can choose. We are free. We have free will. We can choose. We can choose to do what Dr. Roger Teal, beautiful meditation, talking about, oh my gosh, blessing every bit of him, blessing his mind, blessing his heart, blessing his body. Or, oh wait, let's back up. Blessing, 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 which what creates? More blessing. Giving thanks for everything we have, our bodies, our minds, all of that, our opportunities, our family, all of the blessings. Gratitude is the root of abundance. We get more when we focus on gratitude. Or the prerogative to be in fear. So the law of cause and effect, then, carrying with it the liabilities of its selectivity. So if you select fear, there's your liability. There's your liability. So I want you to be thinking about, as we talk about freedom today, I want you to be thinking about a couple of things. I want you to be asking yourself, how free am I? And where have I selectively chosen not to be free, but rather to be afraid? Where am I choosing to be afraid? Because apparently there's a liability there. So we just unpacked that. We just unpacked the definition. So I'm going to read it to you again now that we've unpacked it. Freedom is the necessary prerogative of self-choice, acting as a law of cause and effect, carrying with it the liabilities of its selectivity. So unpacking that was helpful, yes? Yes. Ernest Holmes has a way about him. he he can he can he can talk, can't he? He can use incredible metaphysical intelligence to dazzle us with lots to think about. So there's no fear in freedom. Well, what do I mean by that? Well, how about God being freedom or God as freedom? Can we say God is love, God is joy, God is abundance? We can say God is freedom. So this God, this creator could not create us at the same time not create a way in which we could be as free as God. That's crazy. Because I'm sure we don't get up in the morning and say, I am as free as God. But don't you think we should? Isn't that a nice mantra? So, because it is only out of God's freedom that God can make anything. Remember, God creates out of itself. The creator creating creation creates us, so we can't be different from it. So, guess what? We are freedom. I am freedom. I am free. Now, the question is how much? How much? How much freedom am I selecting? Oh, is there anyone in our world that might decide that I was born with more freedom than you? Apparently, there are those that might believe that. And we are rising up and expanding in consciousness to know better, aren't we? Freedom is a God quality, meaning that it's true for all. As I always say, what is a quality? What is a God principle? A God principle is only that is true for all. And that's how we can say, I am not free until we are all free. we have a lot to do, as a race consciousness, as a global collective, as a people, as humanity, to embody and live this principle. But we have to start somewhere. And why not? Ooh la la, start with ourselves. Whew. Well, for me anyway, I really can't expect things to go on outside of me that I cannot make happen within me. So to suppose, Ernest Holmes says, that the creative intelligence of the universe would create us in bondage and leave us bound would be to dishonor the creative power which we call God. We are in bondage only to a false sense of the self because we judge, this is good, the possibility of the future, by the limitations of the past. Ouch. Anybody do anything today because yesterday it worked or didn't work? Oh no, am I still at 70 years old doing that thing that I learned when I was 3? That was a long time ago. I still like fried bologna. Like, what in the world? Ruth, you'll cut that out of the talk, won't you? It's probably not politically correct to like fried bologna. Freedom lies in the intelligent use of nature's force or God's law. The intelligent use of. This is another thing. We want to. I want to be aware I want to do better at taking care of the earth, minimizing my carbon footprint, being more green. My sister was telling me about the toilet paper that she discovered that's made out of bamboo. We went into quite detail, although no, I did not ask her. No, you guys, no, I did not ask her that. I'm like, how is that bamboo? But there's a lot we can do, isn't there, to be cognizant of the world around us. I have grandchildren, and I pray that they have grandchildren. That's a big prayer today, isn't it? That's a giant prayer to pray for our grandchildren's grandchildren. But you know what? That's a mental equivalent. We want to have that mental equivalent. We want to pray for our grandchildren's grandchildren. And if you're wondering what mental equivalents are, I'll do a little infomercial that I'm offering a new class in a couple of weeks that you can see on our website called Mental Equivalence. Because having mental equivalence is imperative to get a picture of something that we desire, that we want to collapse into form, that we want to manifest in our lives. Freedom of will means the ability to do, say, and think as one wishes, to express life as one personally desires. To be able to merely think and dream of freedom would not be liberty. It wouldn't be anything, would it? It wouldn't be anything. We begin one by one to break the chains of human consciousness which binds us. And we are going to be seeing a lot more information about that. As we become aware and awake, we're going to be able to see amazing things that we have not seen before. We have to emancipate ourselves from limited thinking. Are you thinking right now about freedom, about your own freedom, about where you are choosing fear rather than freedom? Because remember, those don't go together. They don't occupy the same space. And remembering the highest truth is that we are power, spirit, and substance. Just like Reverend Dr. Roger Teal's meditation, that meditation is a gift. Please take advantage of it. And take advantage of that meditation, because there's something wonderful in that meditation that will definitely shake up any ideas or old beliefs from the past, any limited ideas. And he says, we are made in the image of God. We are perfect. Do you look at your body and say, this body is perfect? I sometimes get in front of the mirror, and that's about the last thing I say. I look at my body and I'm like, wow. Good morning, gravity. Woohoo! You look different today than you did yesterday. And I think you're going to look different tomorrow than you did today. And that's beautiful. That is beautiful. I am beautiful. I am perfect. I am complete. I am whole. Stand naked in front of the mirror and claim your freedom. Now I'm going to have a visual of each one of you. I got to shake that out of my mind. There is no fear in spirit, and there will be none in us when we realize who and what we are. Is it that simple? Is it that simple? We just remember who we are, and the fear, poof, goes away. God wishes us well and knows only that we are now free and perfect. Now, these are all Ernest Holmes' words. Aren't they amazing? Last, he says, this is the spirit of freedom whereby we are all born free. And what did I post on Facebook this week. Our loneliness, our sense of isolation, our poverty, doubt, and sickness are results of being disconnected from the fullness of this divine self. Hey, so how about the truth shall set you free. The truth shall set you free. Now, I really liked this part because he talks about liberty, not license. Interesting. Freedom, liberty, not license. Do you see that we are free, but we don't have a license? We are not, for example, given something without having to do anything. I have a driver's license. Yeah, I had to take a test. Oh, that made me nervous. Talk about no fear in spirit. But I passed and I got my license, and now I just have a license to be on the road. I don't have to do anything more. It would behoove me to drive safely, but freedom is not a license. Freedom is liberty, not license. And we already have within us the key to freedom, he says, but we must come to realize our relation to the whole. This is really important. We must come to realize our relation to the whole, because didn't we say earlier that freedom was love, unity? Freedom is not just Sharon. It's not just Linda. It's not just Patricia. It's not just Diane. It's freedom is oneness and unity. So yes, it's really, really important for me to set myself free first. Set myself free first from my fears. That's a lot of F's. Set myself free first from fear. Wow, my goodness, the 4, 5 F's. That's a tongue twister. The point being is that, remember, freedom is also about unity, about wholeness. So again, we must look at our brothers and sisters. Must we? Yes. And make sure that what we're doing contributes to the freedom of all. That what we're doing contributes to the oneness of all life. That what we're doing in nature contributes to the story of our great-grandchildren. This is really powerful. This idea about the journey to freedom starts right here at home, starts right here with self. And there's a lot of places apparently that I am selecting fear. Oops. When the soul knows freedom, the law will free the body. Oh my gosh. Let's say that again. When the soul knows freedom, the law will free the body, and the outer life will express health, happiness, and success. All we have to do is let go of fear and know what else? Know who we are. Know whose we are. Know what we're born from as. How powerful we are. How full of love and light and abundance. Peace and joy. Unity, oneness. The understanding of truth, the infinite principle, is the emancipator. What? The understanding of truth is the emancipator. Tricky life, isn't it? The answers are right there, right as close as our nose. By the way, the truth, the way, the life breathes us. So if we want to remember who we are and whose we are, we just breathe in, breathe out. How much do we forget that? Do we take our breathing for granted? I get up every morning and breathe. I don't say, thank you for breathing. I do say, thank you for this good coffee. Definitely. The universe, being deductive only, cannot refuse us anything. So if we want to be in fear, yes, yes, you go, girl. You be afraid. Yikes. If you want to be free, you go, girl. You are free. As we realize our oneness with creative mind, we are released from false thinking. Truth, how about this one? Knows no opposites. There isn't truth and there's truth. There's truth. So, master of our own soul, we're kind of leading ourselves down that path right now, aren't we? Hello. We are the masters of our own soul. We are the masters of our own destiny. Does this mean that we never experience hardship? Does this mean we never experience life troubles? Does this mean that going to Thanksgiving and sitting with my family is going to go smooth? Perfect. No one's going to color outside the lines. Does this mean that I don't eke my way to payday or any of the things that might make me afraid? Does this mean that it's not okay to be afraid? Heavens no. I have that conversation with my sister about the ego that gets such a bad rap, as I've told you before. That ego gets such a bad rap, but it's that ego that steps off the curb first, making sure everything's safe. But it's that ego that if we don't then say, thank you, I can go now. If we allow the ego to live our lives for us, then we have not lived our freedom, have we? So we thank the ego. We thank this beautiful mechanism that is built, that we came here with, that keeps us safe, keeps us mindfully navigating our journey on earth. So will we be afraid of things? Yes. But we really want to think about what we're really afraid of, because what we're really afraid of might be removable. We might be able to, hey, see a practitioner, see a minister, say, you know what? It seems to me that I've got this pattern of being afraid of this one thing. Can you help me? And we will say, what do you believe? And then we'll, explore that belief and decide if you still want to believe that. And lickety split, you can let it go. This is crazy, but it's so true. We are free. And once we understand what we're afraid of, we can look at it and say, I think I'm going to selectively choose something else. So Ernest Holmes says, if there had been a way by which the divine creative principle could have compelled us to suddenly appear on the scene of experience, fully orbed with all our freedom and still be individuals, then this would have been done. But heck, that's not the way it works. But even God could not do this. You know why? Because the only way God can evolve spontaneous individuals is to let us alone and allow us to awaken to ourself. Ah, doggone it. So in my next life, when I get to heaven, I'm going to tell God, I want to go to the next plane, fully orbed. I don't want to work this hard. We come here perfect, complete, and whole, but God's got an agenda. God's got an agenda, a hidden agenda on us, because God sends us here as individuals, with free will to express ourselves. We can spend our entire life afraid. Go, be afraid. Wow. Here is all the freedom, Ernest says. Here is all the freedom one could ask for, and all the freedom that the divine mind itself could possibly have given us. The freedom, here it is, drum roll, to act as an individual. The freedom to give full rein to our creative imagination. There's nothing in the way. We are unstoppable. We will get a creative block because we selectively choose it. I think I'm going to be creatively blocked today. I think I'm going to believe everything my mother told me. I'm going to believe the news today. I'm going to believe in ageism. Oh my goodness. Please don't laugh at me. Because sometimes I literally do and must wake up with those ideas because guess what? Sometimes I feel blocked. Sometimes I feel uninspired. Sometimes I feel afraid. And I don't care. I don't spend any time on it. I just sit in my afraidness, waving as the world goes by. One of my favorite words is wallow. I'm kidding. We are free to give full and complete expression to every capacity we possess. That's more like it, isn't it? Provided this freedom harms no one and hurts no thing. Don't forget that part. This is freedom enough because if we were free to do that which is destructive, we should ultimately destroy ourselves. And in so doing, we would not only deny, but would defame the nature of divinity itself. Defame God? I never even thought of that idea. Ernest Holmes had a lot of time on his hands. He thought big concepts. So, in summary, our freedom lies within our power to know. Isn't that beautiful? Our freedom lies in our power to know. Guess what? We have this power to know. When we talk about the science of mind, we're talking about we have the power to change our thinking by changing our mind, to know different. And if you can't figure it out on your own, we know. We're trained, aren't we, Linda? Aren't we, Debbie? Aren't we, Margie? Aren't we, Patricia? We're trained to know. So we know, we all know, but then we went to a couple of classes, maybe 5 years worth. Then there were exams, there was boards, we had to sit for, we had to pass this and pass that and demonstrate that we know, but we know. And that knowing is so important because when you know the truth, guess what? Therein lies freedom. And so, what is the spiritual principle? And this is my favorite part. In other words, what can we do? What is the spiritual practice? I love to talk about spiritual practice. The spiritual practice here is compassion. Isn't that something? Compassion respects and honors the true nature of others, all life, and ourselves. Compassion is claiming the same good for others that we accept for ourselves. And Ernest Holmes says courage comes from repeatedly choosing to love rather than trying to defend ourselves against our fears. Ooh. And this is my favorite thing I did this week. This got me. Forgive yourself for the times you did not choose love. Will you do that with me this week? Will you forgive yourself for the times you did not choose love? Freedom. Let us pray. Freedom. Freedom is God. Freedom is God's name. In freedom, there is no fear. There's no fear in God. There's love and light and harmony and peace and joy, life, abundance. Oh my goodness. Those are not just words. They're not just spiritual principles. They're the key to the kingdom. And how do I experience that? I unify with it. I am peace and beauty, love, light, freedom, joy, oneness. And so what I know for myself, I know for all. I claim and declare the living of freedom, the embodiment of freedom. I lay at the foot of my God my fears, my burden, my troubles. I leave it at the foot of my God so that I can see what is bigger than my fear, what is bigger than my problems, what is bigger than my difficulty, that my conflict, my heartache. My God is bigger, that is. My God is bigger. And I look up. I look up because when I'm looking up, I'm looking into the very eyes of God. I'm looking up into the heart of God, into the body of God that is all around the earth, the galaxies, the universes, the creatures, the beauty. I do no harm. And that means I do no harm to Sharon. I do no harm, and I know for each one of us, we do no harm to ourselves. That we unblock our creativity, let it out the gate. That we know joy, we know prosperity, we know abundance, we know perfect, complete, and whole is life itself. It is my life, it is a life of each of us. And so I claim not only for our spiritual community, but for this entire country, and how about this entire world, the end of anything other than unity and oneness and wholeness and freedom and equity and equality and enoughness for all. For our children, for their children, and for their children. Today is the beginning of the rest of my life, and I intend to live it in freedom. I am so grateful for this prayer answered. I am so grateful to know that I just released my word into the law, and it is so. It is deductive. It only says yes. I trust it, and I let it be so. And please agree with me by saying, and so it is. Amen. Ashe. Hallelujah.
Hello, my name is Oliver Miguel, and this is my good friend Amy Bishop.
Hello.
Amy and I have been making music for the last 8 years,
8 years.
and if you've never heard her before, you're welcome. P.S. She smells like daisies.
only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there is no country. It isn't hard to do. No need for greed or hunger. Oh, and no religion too. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer. They say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. No, I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us. And the world will live as one. Imagine no possessions. Oh, I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger, no. It's a brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people living life in peace with you. You may say I'm a dreamer. You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. No, I'm not the only one. Hope someday you'll join. Won't you join us? And the world will live as people get ready. There's a train coming. Don't need no baggage. You just climb on board. All you need is faith. You'll hear the diesels humming. Don't need no ticket. You just thank the Lord. Yeah. People get ready. There's a train to Jordan, picking up passengers from coast to coast. Faith is the key to open the doors and board. For there's room for all among us who've loved and lost. And I'm free, free falling. Yes, I'm free. Yes, I'm free. Yeah, free falling. There's always room for a homeless sinner. Though he hurt all mankind just to save his own. Be loving to those whose chances may be thinner. For there's room for all among us on the kingdom's throne. And I'm free, free falling. Yes, I'm free, free falling. You just thank the Lord.
All right. Well, now it's our offering time, and we have some opportunities, in fact, 3 here for you to donate through our website, through PayPal, a credit card. Just look for the donated button. And then as well as you can mail in a check to our address shown on your screen, and also Amazon. If you shop through Amazon, connect us with Amazon, and we get a little discount. So thank you for that. And our abundance affirmation, and really take this into your heart and say it with me as you're muted. Abiding by the law of circulation and a heartfelt gratitude, I affirm that I live in a creative and abundant universe that continuously flows in, through, and out as me, expressing as the ever-expanding infinite good, and so it is. And now here's our latest news, and we have some great news. Our matching fund donation, we have reached our goal. I believe we're all set up for our new website, thanks to Jaime and everyone. And please join us, and thank you, and look for us on YouTube and Facebook, and we're here for you. Thank you. And now our food drive, and Linda will catch us up on that. Linda?
Yay, food. Now, don't we all need food? 2 basic things we all need is water and food. And with that in mind, what did our great group come up with? A food drive. Yes, to assist those who are experiencing food insecurities. Wow. So please, look on our website. We've got a couple of places that we can drop it off. We announced this early so we can be gathering stuff every couple of weeks, every week, so that we can donate it on March. And the times, the locations are all on our website, so please check it out. And please take special note that thanks to Ruth and Jaime, and you'll get more of this at our annual meeting following this Sunday service, that you can download a printable, a donation blessing from that you can add to those donations, so that people know that we're in the community, that we're there, and we're extending our love. So please check this out on our website. Yeah.
So I guess in a couple of weeks, it will be spring. And spring in Chinese medicine is associated with the wood element. And the wood element in Chinese medicine is associated with the liver and gallbladder. And the energy of the liver and gallbladder can get stuck with the emotion of stress and frustration. So you come tomorrow and learn a few Qigong exercises to move that energy that could be stuck throughout this time. So 6:30 tomorrow.
I think I mentioned in my talk that this new class is going to be mental equivalence, and we have one more class Thursday for our 7-week Revealing Wholeness class, and we're going to take a break, and then we'll begin this class and leap into a state of true potential by activating the power of the law of mental equivalence, just what we talked about today. So it's a 5-week class, Thursdays. Come join us. We also had our Wisdom Wednesday last Wednesday, where the people that attended the Vista convention shared what they learned. And we're going to continue that for one more Wisdom Wednesday on March 10th, where Reverend Sarah Nichols is going to come and share. She was actually a presenter at convention for 3 workshops, and she's going to share that. So don't miss Wisdom Wednesday, March 10th. And we're actually going to record that one. So see you there. And today, this picture, by the way, this picture is Asilomar. Asilomar is where we used to go to convention and where Ernest Holmes used to go to convention. So I put Asilomar Beach there for you. And that means that you're invited at 12:30 to our annual meeting. And this is a very important meeting, especially if you want to know what we've been up to for the last year and where we're going. I'm calling it the 2020 recap and the 2021 vision. So see you there at 12:30. This will be in lieu of fellowship so that we give our board of trustees a break to have lunch. Otherwise, they're going to be presenting with their mouth full of food. And we don't want that, do we? Not a pretty look. So, and another thing too that you might want to come and see is that Jaime is presenting our new website. Drum roll. And so you're going to want to see that magnificent way that we're going to connect with the world. So for everything, our classes, our events, our services, and everything we do, it is on our website. We get to say, hey, check out our website. But now our website is so easy. I've actually shown it to some of my colleagues, and they're so jelly. So jelly.
May I ever use my hands for lifting up. May I ever use my voice for speaking truth. May I consecrate each day and live with joy and wonder. May I sow in peace as all the wild things do. I will ever use my voice for lifting up. This voice was made for peace. I will ever use my eyes for seeking truth. These eyes were made for truth. I will consecrate each day and live with joy and wonder. I will sow in peace as all the wild things do. There is peace on I will reap in peace as all the wild things do. Wild and precious, we are wild and precious. Life is wild and precious.
Beautiful.
May I ever use my
so beautiful. Yeah, we could hear that one again. Yeah. So Margie. And we want to hear what you have to say. So we're going
to. Love acts through me, and the law of love frees us all. I like that. And now for our prayer request, if you'll do just this Sunday, because we're directly going to the board meeting, so there won't be a prayer request via chat today, but please do it through our website. We're getting, receiving prayers through our website from people we don't know. It's beautiful. And we get them, we take them to our hearts all week, and we pray over them, and they get responded to. So please do that on our website this week. We appreciate it. And now going within with gratitude in our hearts for what transpired here between us like-minded spiritual people, God's children, for we are blessed. We are blessed the messages we get. We are blessed to have this website up and running and new, and exciting. We're blessed for everything that we're given by everyone that participates in our service on Sundays and Wednesdays and workshops and everything. And we're blessed to have you here with us. We love you, we cherish you, and we send you all our blessings. And so it is.